So hey there everyone, I'm Lone Wolf 360, and if there's one thing which I think we could all universally agree on, it probably has to be that Marvel projects in the past few years have kind of taken a bit of a downfall in quality. So today, me and my co-star are going to be talking about it. Mind introducing yourself?
Hey everyone, Soundwave here. I am happy to be on the channel, happy to talk about the future of Phase 5.
Of course, let us get into the video.
So, I think to start off the list, I think we should talk about the movies that have already came out, that being Ant-Man, Quantumania, and Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. So, what are your opinions about Ant-Man?
Oh, honestly, when it comes to Ant-Man, I just kind of feel indifferent to it. Like, I know a lot of people on Twitter have treated it like it's just like the worst thing that's ever come to humanity and all. But it don't honestly, the best way to describe it is that it's just like a mid movie, and compared to the other Ant-Mans that came before. Because I didn't really hate Ant-Man 2 like everyone else. I just kind of found it to be boring. I could have been better if it just ended at the second movie, and the third one, if it existed, I feel like I would have been very indifferent to it. Because, like, the best thing about the movies is that, ironically, it was like a small scale type deal. Like, sure, you had the other Avengers, sure, you kind of had like a big thing that was going to happen, but then at the same time, it wasn't like, oh no, the world's gonna end if this happens, you know. But then the third movie just kind of gets rid of that whole dynamic where it's like the whole family thing, and then, you know, Scott's friends, and it's just, oh no, we're lost here, we gotta stop this guy. And if I were going to rate it on a whole, I'd say it's like a 5 out of 10 at best. And the only reason why it gets like any merits is because, for one thing, I liked like a few scenes in there, and seeing Giant Man as someone that really loved the Earth's Mightiest Heroes, that honestly hit my heart for me. So, you know, that's it.
I'm just gonna say L Modoc, L Ants, L King, L Wife, L Daughter. That's all I gotta say about it, honestly.
And on the subject of universes, what about Guardians 3?
It was a beautiful movie. Looking back, I really appreciate the trilogy and what James Gunn has done for the MCU and what he will do for the DCEU. My only problem with the Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 is it's so packed. You have so much things going on with Adam Warlock, Rocket's story, obviously all of the members in the Guardians of the Galaxy, Quill and Gamora's like relationship slash not relationship. It's really packed, and the movie's already long enough that it's already as long as it is. I just feel as though I almost wish we want to like have a fourth one. I just wanted to see more of everything. Even though it did end off in a great note, it sended off the Guardians of the Galaxy. It ended a great trilogy, and it sended off James Gunn. So I say W.
So, personally speaking, I kind of feel like the same, you know, like, it's a really good send-off and feels like a great emotional climax to what was built up before, because throughout all three of the movies, like, Rocket has a pretty significant role throughout all of them, and the whole found family aspect is also very important in all of them. So I kind of feel like the third one did a really good job. And even though Adam Warlock was kind of not really the central focus, I really like about how the High Evolutionary was like a really good villain, you know?
For sure.
Because like Ego, like, cause like the first villain, like, okay, he kind of feels like a good contrast for like the film as a whole, which is trying to be goofy and over the top. The second one, it's like all about deception and trying to target the whole found family thing versus actual family. And then the third one, it's just like trauma and getting over that. So like seeing the Guardians all help Rocket throughout it honestly hits so hard for me. So yeah. That, and I also really like how it ends to where, yeah, the Guardians kind of split up, but it doesn't necessarily mean that the whole saving the universe thing is done and over for, you know?
hmm And so those were the starts of the Phase 5. Terrible start with Ant-Man. Good kind of like trajectory. It's going back up with the Guardians of the Galaxy 3 movie. The next thing up to be released is Secret Invasion, which is a series that's going to be on Disney Plus in the summer of 2023.
So when it comes to Secret Invasion, what are your thoughts on it?
I didn't know what it was. It was something that I saw on the poster for Phase 5. Looking into it, so I seen the trailer. Yeah, I mean, I feel like it could actually be high quality. And funny enough, a few years ago, back in the golden days of Marvel, I actually kind of realized something that the more Samuel L. Jackson is in something, the better it is. If you know what I
The
mean.
exception of Captain Marvel, though.
Big facts. True. True.
Oh, and like here's the thing. While I never really read the comic, I did remember watching Earth's Mightiest Heroes and like another series that kind of adapted it.
Hmm.
And I feel like my favorite part about that arc in particular had just to be the general paranoia surrounding it. Because the Avengers, everyone was just like, oh, this isn't good territory. So who knows? Maybe this series might be like more laid back or might be a more thriller type deal with how kind of useless like Nick is in the grand scheme of things, considering about how the Skrulls just are just these guys that like to do a bit of tomfoolery with shape shifting, if you know what I mean.
I'm honestly in a weird way like interested in the Skrulls culture, which I do want to see. So, I think it's in terms of good or bad. I say W. I think it'll actually be pretty good.
Right, so how about we move on into the next subject?
All right, so the next up is Loki season 2. Me and you talked about this a bit before. You don't really like the original Loki season, but
I like not to say that it's bad or anything, but just like out of all the Marvel shows, along with a few other ones, I just didn't really find myself sitting down and enjoying it that much.
well, I respect your opinion, but L opinion. So, um, I think not only is this gonna be a good series, I think it's gonna be a good season, but I feel like it'll actually impact the MCU more. It'll have Kang in it supposedly, and in terms of like the whole multiverse timeline, sacred timeline, it's gonna be more important for the MCU. And I did like season 1. I thought it was great. I thought Loki is a likable character in terms of sympathy for a villain. He was Marvel's first good villain, and so
Yeah, he
I,
was,
yeah.
and like that trauma of him just getting his ass beat just really messed him up, man.
Dude, I mean, like the scene where he's watching his whole life flash before his eyes, and then just seeing himself die in the end, like it was all for nothing, is just so like. Can you imagine?
And
Like,
like it's just like you're really telling me this is all I amount to, bro. Like that, I'd be pretty pissed off
it,
right there.
yeah,
Just pull
man.
like imagine him trying to pull a Darth Maul from Clone Wars. Where he's like, you know what? Fuck this. It's my story now. Like I'm gonna be the main character again.
Hmm.
Like that would be wild. How
Yeah.
about we move on into the next topic? So the next one, which we're going to talk about, is the upcoming Echo.
Who?
Who?
Who, bro?
Yeah, in all honesty, I have no idea. So how about we just move on into Marvels? I'm not
The Marvels.
gonna lie. Even though I didn't get the chance to watch Miss Marvel, because I know, ironic, I'm in a video talking about the MCU, but I didn't watch every project. The movie honestly looks pretty fun for the most part. Though I'm not gonna lie, I kind of feel sorry because whenever there's Marvel talk included, you know Brie Larson's just gonna be at the face of it, and
Hmm.
she's also in this movie, man.
I mean, yeah. Do you at least think it'll be better than the first Captain Marvel?
It might be if they stick to their guns and they don't like rush it. If they give it some time to cook, because I feel like the biggest problem is that when these people make these shows and movies back to back to back, it's like Call of Duty. Like, sure, it's like a cake, but like you can only take so much of a cake at the same time, or a cake just gets rushed and it turns out to be bad. If you're
Uh,
getting it in the movie.
yeah. I mean, this has Captain Marvel, Miss Marvel, the other Marvel. It's probably gonna suck. I say L. Like, just that. Blade, Blade, Blade. I haven't seen the original trilogy. Is it a trilogy?
Yes, there is a trilogy. They kind of peaked with the second one, and then the third one just was just incredibly mid.
I did hear the third one
Like,
was pretty bad. It has Ryan Reynolds in it though. He can't.
yeah, but
Until Deadpool,
like
bro, he just couldn't catch a break with a good movie. Like,
best way to describe it is just like it was production hell for the third one, but the first two movies essentially put like the Marvel stuff on the spot because that was like the OG of the G. So I'm kind of interested to see about how the new guy that's going to be playing him will do.
Yeah, Mahershala Ali. I like him a lot. He's in a lot of good movies. I like his performance is always pretty good. So I think he'll bring a good amount of acting to the character. Again, it just always goes down to directing and writing, especially with these Marvel TV shows, and movies.
Since we're still talking about TV shows, so remember Ironheart by any chance from Wakanda Forever?
Yeah, I remember it. I remember something about it. I remember that fucking
Like in
suit.
all honesty, like I didn't hate her character like how a lot of other people did when the movie dropped. Like I found her to be alright for the most part. So once again, I feel like it's going to be entirely dependent on how the writing is when this stuff eventually drops. Because I know damn well if they fumbled the bag, it's just gonna be like, oh my god, woke this, woke that, so bad. I'm just like, guys, let them cook, give them time. Like you already overworked the CGI artist.
The speaking about the CGI artist, man, like that suit in Wakanda Forever. I thought I was watching Space Jam. Like it looked like a Power Rangers cartoon. It wasn't a good design. It didn't even look like Iron Man. Like it looked nothing like it. It's just
I feel like it's better to have like a distinction between the characters because one of the biggest issues, at least when it comes to whenever I did research about that character specifically, had to be about how she was essentially just like a copy of Iron Man. So at least in this version, where she makes both of her suits, they at least stand out enough, I guess.
no. I hope she makes a different suit that's not made of vibranium in her show, and I hope it looks
Yeah,
better than the
I'm not
last
gonna
one. Like
lie. I'm not gonna lie. If I had my car exploded by some weird fish people and they just give me my car back, from Africa, I'm gonna be like, why don't you just do pull a Ben 10 and make it out of like an invincible thing? Because what are they gonna do, huh?
speaking of Ben 10, do you know Water Hazard? That's what
No.
her suit looked like, bro. Like,
Yeah, that's a pretty reasonable take. So, what about Agatha? Like, cause I heard it's like a connection to that Scarlet Witch show that came out. Or no, not Scarlet Witch, but WandaVision show that came out a while back.
yeah, and she's played by Catherine Hahn, which is I think she's really funny. She's really cool, and she was likable in WandaVision. I did like WandaVision. It was okay. Sadly, they did my girl dirty in Doctor Strange. But in terms of the
Yeah, she was
yeah
on some demon time trying to get some fake children.
yeah that wasn't hers, stealing them, like traumatizing them, killing people. Um,
Yeah, her fans are just like, but guys, but guys, she has such a tragic. Oh my god.
and the show, I mean, one Agatha. In terms of the show, I don't know. It's not a prequel, so it's gonna be after WandaVision, but she died in the end of it, so I don't know what Marvel shit they're gonna do to bring her back. Um, but I mean, I'm excited, especially since I heard like Aubrey Plaza is gonna be in it, so that's hype. She's always fun. Again, I like Catherine Hahn. I think it's gonna be a W. You?
Yeah, I feel like it might turn out alright even if I don't watch it.
hmm
So, wanna move on into Daredevil?
Daredevil, Born Again. Not gonna lie, not gonna lie. I haven't seen any of the Daredevil episodes. The old Ben Affleck movie. This is not my area of expertise. You?
Like, I haven't necessarily watched it myself. Like, occasionally, like when my folks or when my brother has been watching it, I peeked in, but I haven't been able to watch it. But from what I heard, the TV show on Netflix is pretty good. The version that was in uh, She-Hulk, which is pretty much just the same character translated over, was
hmm
pretty good. So who knows? Maybe it might turn out to be pretty decent. Maybe it might turn out to be bad. The biggest problem though is just time restraints though.
Mm. I mean, yeah, but it's funny because he's been in so many cameos recently, and again, they were heavily time restrained. Daredevil has been great in those cameos. He was easily the best part of She-Hulk, and it was a cameo. So, from the trailer, the teaser we got, looks good. Again, I say a W. I think it'll be a good series.
Right? And then lastly, Captain America, The New World Order, and then Thunderbolts. Getting Captain America out the way, I'm pretty interested to see about how they continue Bucky's story, not Bucky, but Sam's story as, the new Captain America. Because out of all the shows, I really liked Winter Soldier and the Falcon.
I regret not watching The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. After reading some reviews, I actually regret not seeing it. Um, I think on YouTube a few days ago I saw a video by the Black Lion, and you remember, like I remember just how good the Captain America movies were. I forget Civil War was a Captain America movie and not an Avengers movie, and so considering that the first two seasons of the show were well received, I am excited for
It
this
was
movie as
only
well.
one season.
Hmm. I'm sorry.
There's only one season of it, though.
Deadass. Damn.
That was pretty much like all the MCU shows in a nutshell.
Okay. But I mean,
And
fun
then
fact.
lastly, Thunderbolts. In all fairness, I can't really say much about it, but it's certainly a project that exists, you know?
It exists. It exists. So allegedly, the characters in is gonna be Ghost, the Red Guardian, Yelena Bolevo, Bucky Barnes, maybe, U.S. Agent Taskmaster. Um, this name, whatever it is, I'm not saying that, bro. So I mean, in terms of who the Thunderbolts are, it's basically a subgroup of the Avengers, kind of like the Suicide Squad. And Marvel's came out saying it's not gonna be like the Suicide Squad, but I hope it is. Like I want to see that in a
What are
Marvel.
we, some type of Suicide Squad?
What, we some kind of suicide squad?
Yeah, or Suicide Squad. I'm gonna put that in the video. So I actually do want to see a Marvel counterpart to the Suicide Squad, so I hope it's good. I think it will be good. I say W. You?
Yeah. So overall, I think our opinions on like the MCU is pretty clear so far. Like, yeah, there's been some fumbles with like a long-running franchise, which is inevitable. But at the same time, I kind of feel like there are also some good movies out there and some potential for some pretty good projects up ahead.
So looking back, I mean, we've rated about most of them gonna be good. That's what we ranked them as. More good than bad. And I feel like if we are gonna be wrong, it's mostly gonna be the TV shows. We know how Marvel likes to do it. And in a weird way, we're
Quantity
optimistic,
over
but
quality,
still
am I right?
fact. And so yeah, we have mostly good out of bad. I'll put on screen like how many will be good out of the bad. So yeah, what do you have to say about it?
So yeah, like at the end of the day, well, I do feel like the inevitability of a franchise kind of becoming dull over the years because of oversaturation as a thing. I don't feel like Marvel, with its entirety, has fumbled, and that there's still plenty of opportunity for improvement, considering some stuff like Guardians 3 turned out to be good and whatnot. So yeah, I hope you guys all enjoyed our weird ranking of the MCU's Phase 5 so far. And if we're wrong, well
Not our fault.
I guess you could just call us bad or something. Anyways, enjoy the outro and later folks.
Thank you for watching. Y'all be safe. Bye bye.